What's up, fam? Coach Cam back again with another video, and in today's video we're going to be unboxing a leg extension hamstring curl machine from GMWD, some kind of gym equipment brand, and I'm going to try to film myself putting it together and then giving a full review on it once I have it set up. So stay tuned and let's get into it. Alright, so I went ahead and cut the top off the box. This is what the packaging looks like. Looks like almost everything is bubble wrapped, laid out for me. So we will see how difficult it is to put together. Alright, so here's another pack of what it comes with. Some spacer type pieces and some weight clips, it looks like. We got the assembly instructions, that's the picture. My son goofing off, and hardware. So pretty regular things here. I hope the instructions are detailed because I'm not that handy. You pretty much got to tell me every single thing to do and then I can do it. So we will see how this goes. Alright, so here's all the pieces taken out of the packaging, laid out on the ground. They're all very nice and big and kind of obvious where they go, so I'm hoping that will help me put it together. And that was very easy to unpack, and it was very much packaged safely. Here's the full like bench backrest area, all came just like this. I didn't have to put it together. Haven't put anything together yet, but I will start that right now. Here is the equipment you need. You just need an adjustable wrench, socket set, and a drill just to have whenever you need to use those. So not a lot of tools. Everyone should pretty much have those. Here is a huge scuff mark that I did not do. I opened this with a knife, and these arms, I didn't really need a knife to get it open. So this must have been from before they packaged it or something, not sure, but there is some minor scratch damage without even getting started here. I just want to point out that this seat is crooked. The seat pad, you can see I'm straight in line with the back, and the seat is a little turned. So I don't think there's any fixing that. You know, kind of just the way it's gonna be. Oh, some more scuff marks here. Not sure what I would do to fix that. That came already put together. You know what I mean? So, what? There's only this bolt. This. Oh wow, that bolt might be too tight because that is grinding there, and just kind of did that, I think. So anyway, just so you know, a little crooked right there. We'll see how it looks at the very end. All right, so I found another flaw. Do you see this seat plate here? Well, look, when you line it up here, it is slanting down this side. So we will see how that plays out when I'm done putting it together. But something else I noticed. Okay, going in to put the seat down, and they have these 4 holes. Well, take a look at this one. Definitely not lined up very well, and there's some wood in the way. So I gotta clear that out to make sure this will fit. And this one, same thing. So the screw is not going to fit in that unless I carve out some of that wood and do some of my own work on that. So I will work on that and get back with you and tell you what I did. Okay, final product right here. That's with the seat flat. Obviously you would bring this back cushion up. Let me go ahead and do that for hamstring curls. So it would look like that for lying hamstring curls. Yeah, I would say assembly wise, you know, I mean, I don't know, I've been in my garage like 2 hours. Obviously I had a 2-year-old in here with me too. Made it more fun. Overall, so far, you know, out of 10, I'm still looking at like it being a good 8 out of 10. Assembly, I'll give it an 8.5. It's not hard, but like I showed you with the seats, those 4 bolts underneath, all I had to do was take my pocket knife here and just kind of carve out those holes a little bit better where it was a little crooked, so that the screw would be able to go through it. Handles on both sides, those were super easy. Like I showed you guys, most of this was kind of in big chunks, so it was really easy to just set it into place, put the screws and nuts and bolts, and it was very simple. Only tools I needed, some of them came with the pack here, but the only tools I needed was this. The number on here is 17, so I'm not very smart, but that's like 17 standard, you know, what do we call this? Socket ratchet, and this adjustable wrench. It came with these, and I have a whole thing of them, so that helped too. But that's all you need. It even has these little cute little baby plate clips on the side, so that's pretty cute. I'm gonna go ahead and do a few exercises and play with it, adjust it. As you can see from the front, that seat is slightly not straight. And then if you go back here to the back, there's like, I don't know, almost no play in that really. The seat, same thing. It's very sturdy. I wouldn't really say that it's got any play to it. These levers do have a bit of play before they actually engage. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let me get some clips of me hitting a few exercises. We'll see how it feels. So I went to bring this back pad up to go ahead and sit and do quad extensions, and I'm gonna show you, but it's like rubbing and not like going up fluidly. It's hitting the seat pad. So I guess you just have to do the back pad first, and the seat pad kind of sits on top of it, above it, and it's really a snug fit there. Maybe it's too heavy. I'm gonna go ahead and lower the weight on each side to 25, see if that feels like I can do a full rep. Okay, so what was happening was with the 45-pound plate, for some reason, when I would go to extend my legs, the ankle pad was trying to ride up my shins because it's a lever arm, right? It's trying to just lever straight out, and I guess it doesn't really articulate perfectly with your ankle and knee joint, because when you bend your knee, you're kind of arcing it in a circle, the resistance, whereas this is trying to just go straight out. So it feels a little interesting with the 45 plates. I don't know if that's just too heavy for me. I don't think it shouldn't be, but I'm gonna keep toying with it. I like the adjustability of all the pads. I was able to adjust the pads, and that made it feel much better. I might need like thicker pads, something softer, because it is kind of jamming into your shins a little bit. I'm gonna keep kind of playing with it and try to get a better idea of how to articulate what I'm feeling when I'm using this machine. So one thing I'm noticing is the seat is a little bit crooked, kind of going off this direction, whereas the legs are coming straight out. So I'm sitting there, I look between my legs, the seat's over here, but the legs are straight here. So as far as the pads being different heights, I don't think that that is happening once the exercise begins. It might look like that when you just glance at this, but I think once the exercise begins, they're equal, and it's not a factor. So that's really good news. I know other people have reviewed it and said stuff like that. They are the same height, and they just sit a little different before you start the exercise, but once you move them, they're basically locked in right here on your shin, and they're gonna move as you move your knee. So overall, the quad extension function works really well, and I think it's just gonna take some workouts to feel it out just right. And I like doing some unilateral work lately, so I will definitely be trying the one side versus the other, instead of always doing like both at the same time, and just kind of play around with it and see what results I get. But overall, I'm very pleased with this machine. I'm gonna do some lying hamstring curls and kind of give you guys a scoop on that function as well. One other thing I'm noticing, I think I mentioned it during the installation, but there's a lot of friction right here with this like bottom of the seat and where it goes into this pin. It's literally metal on metal right here. There's no space whatsoever. So, I mean, just be aware of that. I don't think it's a problem, but it's gonna make this little mark over time because it's just that tight and there's really nowhere to loosen it. Oh, holy crap. Okay, so right off the bat with the hamstring curls, you have to get your pins just right where you need them. And so where you have to put them off of these holes is this first one. I guess these two are kind of your hamstring curls and these are your quad extension holes. And then I had to move these pads up a notch, but I only have 25 pounds on each side, and that felt really hard to curl. you saw in the clip, I just made sure I did it because I'm not going to look like a wuss on the internet. But curled as hard as I could. And right as I got my hamstrings to fully flexed, the resistance dropped off like crazy. Like it was nothing to keep my hamstring fully flexed at the top. Not nothing, but it was close to nothing. And then when I went to lower it back down, the tension picked up like insane on my way down. So the strength curve, resistance profile, whatever you call this, is crazy for the hamstring curls. I'm gonna lower the weight and give it a few more reps, see what I think. Okay, so what I just noticed for the hamstring curls was really odd. So I lowered the weights to 10 pounds each leg, and basically it puts up a good resistance profile. Once again, right up until your leg is vertical. Once your foot is vertical to the ground, there's almost no resistance anymore. And then it drops back down and the resistance increases quite a bit. So keep that in mind. I don't know why that is. I think it's just the leverage, the way they built it. They should have had the weight plates kind of coming off at an angle in order to make that not happen. So maybe if these plate arms were offset a little bit further down or sticking out farther to the side, it could keep some tension on your hamstrings when you get full contraction. But that's okay, because when your hamstrings are fully contracted, they're not in their strongest position. They're in their strongest position somewhere in the mid-range of the range of motion. So you're getting plenty of tension and stimulus at that point. So I would say that that is still a great exercise for them, and that just maybe avoid the fully flexed position and play more with the other, 80% of the range of motion. But that last 20%, you're not really doing yourself any favors. You can really just rest with your leg at the top. So that was, out of 10, I would say that was like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Still obviously really good for a home gym, but out of, every hamstring curl that's ever been invented, I'll give it a 7. I'll be a little generous and give it a 7 out of 10. You're still going to make gains off it, because training the muscle hard and contracting hard is going to get you gains. It's just not the smoothest feel of all time. I'm going to go ahead and do the standing single leg hamstring curls and show you guys what that looks like and how that feels. All right, so standing single leg hamstring curls, I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out of 10. Because like I said, these arms articulate at this joint. Let me flip the camera. These arms articulate right here. So it's just trying to go out, way out here, and it's not following the pattern of your ankle, because this pad's just going further away from your foot, making it really challenging. And you can only really pull your leg up to about 90 degrees before you have to lower it back down, because your leg isn't long enough to follow this pad way to crap out here. You know what I'm saying? It needs to go more vertical. So maybe this needs to track like out a little bit and then come back up to follow your actual ankle. But it going way the heck out here does you no favors at all and makes the exercise way more challenging than necessary. You can't fully finish the contracted portion of the range of motion. I've never done that exercise, but I'm just letting you know that as you curl your hamstring, that exercise is already harder to curl your hamstring, and then this pad articulating just straight out basically makes it even harder. So like I said, this is 10 pounds each side. I'm not an IFBB pro. I don't have Dorian Yates hamstrings, but it's a little awkward, not as smooth. Like I said, I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 10. Not going to be one of my go-to exercises with this machine, but cool idea, but it's a no for me, boss. All right, last but not least, they advertised that you could do hip thrusts with this machine. Let's see. I'm kind of doubting it based on how high the seat is, but I will do my best to hip thrust on this machine. How are you gonna get out of this? All right, so as you can see with the hip thrust, it's pretty awkward to get set up for it. You have to be able to pick the amount of weight up with your hands just to get your hips underneath the weight. I don't see how else you would do that unless you can crawl under it like you're some kind of goblin or something to be able to set up for that. You're also really high up off the ground, like your back. Like you're higher than a normal bench in a gym. So you feel like you're just really propped up and you're just kind of creating the exercise and forcing it. But out of 10, I'd still give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Like I would program that exercise, the hip thrust, over that single leg standing hamstring curl thing. That's not it with this machine. So just the way the arms articulate, it's not going to be a good fit for that exercise. But, you know, so overall, I'd say out of 10, the whole machine. I mean, if you're talking garage gym equipment, it's like a solid 8.5. If you're talking all equipment that's ever been made on Earth, this is like a 6. And I probably wouldn't buy it if you're used to extremely amazing, smooth, fluid machines that cost thousands of dollars. This, I paid $450 for this. So good price and a good variety for what you're getting. Commercial grade materials, and it's really heavy duty, and I like that about it. It's very durable. It's gonna last a long time. Just kind of the way those lever arms articulate, it's not perfect, and the pad is trying to move further off of your feet with any exercise that you pick, which just feels kind of weird because it feels like it's trying to escape you. Now with the hamstring curls, it felt like the pad was trying to ride up your shins, but with kind of the hip thrust and with the single leg standing, it's just going way out into the middle of nowhere, and you don't want that. You can't continue the exercise past that range of motion. It creates a huge sticking point. So overall, that's the video, and this is a really interesting machine, and I would recommend it for people who have home gyms. I haven't really seen a better version of this out there. Once again, this is the GMWD Leg Extension Hamstring Curl Machine. So go ahead and like the video, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to be including this in my workouts because I need to get a feel for it, learn how it works a little bit better, and figure out exactly like what adjustments I like the most for which exercises. Maybe I need to add some cushion there. I got a mat. I can just roll that up and add some cushioning here if I want to. But overall, this is my garage gym, and this is a new piece of equipment I got. And this has been Coach Cam. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.